So, hello and welcome. 2 days in, I just thought I would give you a quick update on what's happening to me in Enshrouded. I'm absolutely restless, I have to say, and that is quite something. It's telling you a lot about what's going on here, so it is a fantastic game, I have to say. It is not perfect by no means. I just do a quick transition and a quick video to this, but yeah. I'm absolutely amazed. I've done 2 streams today in German and then also do a recording afterwards. I mean, that tells you a lot. So yes, it is not perfect, you know, but my mind is boggled kind of. I haven't seen a game like this in a while, okay, or anything, the feeling that I have for it kind of. So I thought I'd do a quick recording as well in English to give you a bit of some thoughts. Yeah, I was watching Zach's video there, obviously, just now. Summary of his Twitch stream. So yeah, fighting and battles and all those things. Yeah, fighting system is obviously a bit rough, you know. If you kind of are committed to hit, you can't really, you know. You have to know what you're doing beforehand. How do you attack? You know, it's not just a hack and slash kind of thing where you know, you have to see, you have to time things right, you know, and that is something where I just go like, wow, you know, like before you would have automatically X and Y axis meeting kind of, you know, and normal, you know, but here you also have to use time. Okay, very essential. Yes, wands and all that are better and all those things for some fights, you know. You have to kind of see if a wand can help you, or let's say, you know, the two-handed mace, you know, or a battle axe. It's a bit like, you know, it gets you back to the point where you have to actually think which weapon you have to use against which enemy, against which opponent. We've seen it with Wrath earlier. By collecting our carpenter, okay, you couldn't reach the Wrath with the two-handed weapon. It was hovering so high above that you could only reach it with either wand or bow. Okay, when we got this guy here. So, and that is something, you know, where I say, hey, wow, you know, like, when is it the last time that you had to think, you know, do I take the two-handed mace or the bow against an opponent? You know, we are coming from this kind of, yeah, how can I say, you know, legendaries, you know, kind of, we wanna have a legendary in our hand and kind of be sure that this does the most damage no matter what, the meta kind of thing. But I prefer it really in this way, you know, where you just have to think for a moment, actually, what is the opponent you're having, you know, and what is the best source of damage, if you like, for that one, you know. So I'm amazed by a couple of things here. Okay, I know I blow my own trumpet, if you like, you know, as a German, you know, I'm happy that there's a German developer, you know, coming up with stuff like that. The idea of building tunnels, you know, the stuff that was really missing in Valheim, you know, that you couldn't kind of dig a proper hole, you know, as a dwarf. You know, I think this will be kind of an alchemy lab at some point here. I don't know. Underground, I can not enshroud it, but encave it with bone kind of bits, you know, bone blocks, just to make it look the part of a proper alchemy lab. That's the idea that I have here for the basement, you know. I know Simon is very demanding at times, and he goes like, I want this and that, you know, some ideas, and I'm happy to build it because I really like the building, you know. For me, it's kind of base building and, you know, coming up with solutions to problems that we never had. Yeah, but it's cool, you know. So, so I just said I would just do a quick summary. We have seen a couple of places. I haven't played the demo version. Zach was saying something earlier. Like, you know, I thought, like, he's not a fast learner. Okay. I used to be a fast learner, but I'm getting old as fuck. Okay, I'm 47 now. I come from an age where Ultima Online was not even released yet, you know. So, and there were games out there like Magic Candle, you know, which gave you back in the day already this feeling kind of something, you know. If a game manages to enshroud you, if you like, you know, suck you in, you know, if you can say that in this way, you know, then it's quite something. So I can not praise it enough. Yes, not everything is perfect, but they are doing, I've seen, I think since it came out, a couple of patches already, they're really behind it. So, and they would like to make it better, obviously. That is great to see, you know. I hope they can keep it up. Was a bit funny. We reached the border of the map today, so and it was saying something like, yeah, in the early access mode, that's the border, you know. And we'll see how far we can go in the other directions before we reach a border that we cannot pass. But I think if that goes even further, it's already nice, you know. So it's already nice as it is. Definitely worth to play it in a good graphics card. Right now I get very low frame rates. I have to say in Scum, for example, I would get in 2K streams about 50 to 100 frames. And here with optimized settings and everything, yeah, not really great just yet. But we know, okay, it's not a deal breaker for me. We know that even though it is already kind of this Valheim reduced kind of approach, that there could be a great many things that could be compressed, for example, and kind of released in the moment when we really need it. So I'm not too upset about it. It makes it sometimes a bit tough to stream it, but that's how it is when you stream an early access game, you know? This is just how it is. I saw some graphics bugs, but I think they have fixed that already. So yeah, the whole fighting mechanism is just one thing for itself, okay? You have absolute, I mean, Simon and I were in front of that cave and we were just fucking scared, okay? Two grown-up men in their 40s, okay? Standing in front of a cave, shitting our pants, you know? It's like we have seen Wailing Caverns, I think, for the better part of at least 500 times each, okay? There's no challenge anymore, you know? But this is just something where you go like, should I really go in there? Good question, you know? So that is the feeling that I have here with many locations. Okay. Yes, Magic seems to be initially the better part, but I have the feeling the more you develop, kind of the more you have a level up. It's not only that it's a slow progress, but it's a meaningful progress, because with every level that you get, I have the feeling your fighting skills, yeah, the way you kind of hit your stuff and how things work together works a good bit better than a level beforehand. So it gives you the feeling that you're really kind of, you know, you are getting better at this, not just from you playing it kind of, but your character is progressing as well. And that is something as well that they have managed in a certain way where I'm just amazed, you know. It feels just a lot better than when I was level 1. Obviously you need gear, all right? So I mean, there's as it is always, you know, it's always been like that, you know. So when I say arrows, for example, bows, was lucky enough to find a couple of good bows. I still run around with that stupid rubbish thingy here, you know, but that seems to be a very quick weapon. So that's why what I mean with yeah, let me see. Yeah, this one. So Spike Club, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but it's very, very fast. Okay, so like, you know, I don't think there is, beside from a good sword, you know, there is something that is faster than this. Okay. Yes, you have shield parry and all those things. I still don't fully understand how it works. Okay, you can build up some sort of block damage. I've skilled it, but I don't really understand where, how and where. Hang on a second. There we go. So I'm supposed to get, yeah, perform a merciless attack by pressing E to deal massive damage to an enemy. Okay. Enemy you have overpowered. Okay, so yeah, this startling effect when you have them in a corner kind of thing, you know, and then you really give it to him, so then yeah, you can press E as well. Does it fully work? I don't think it does, but not in the way that we understand it, kind of what we would expect. It's always about what we expect compared to what it is really that we are getting here, you know. And I think we're already getting a lot. So when I think about some other early access experiences that I had in my life, I would have to say this is fairly far along. Okay. Scum at the beginning, you had absolutely nothing. You had a map with a few things and you had sugar to eat, and that was it, you know. I think here already the crafting is just, you know, the textures of the walls and everything. Jesus, sorry, but I don't know how otherwise I can express myself, you know. You have ways to build a cave, you know, a proper cave. Like if you wanted to kind of not have a base on the top of a mountain, with a tower, you know, New Swanstein kind of thing, you know, fairy tale castle. That is, I think, the approach we're going for here right now, castle in the sky, you know. Then you could just dig a hole if you wanted to. Like if you're a prepper, you know, and you want to kind of live underground, you can. You know, not a problem. You can. I don't think there are any limits to what you can do here, you know. So yeah, would be handy obviously if I had a better graphics card. It would look probably a bit better, you know, but altogether I'm happy, you know. For me, I'm old. I'm coming from an age where most of my games looked way worse than this. Okay, so for me, I'm already having low expectations, let's say, to games, you know. It's funny, you know, when you go back to World of Warcraft every now and then, to the old Lich King, for example, how grainy that looks compared to other games that are out right now. And that's the same feeling that you had when I was looking at my games from back in the day. If I played some old Atari games in emulator again, you know, but at the time it was the greatest thing since sliced bread, you know. So it was just always like that, you know, that feeling. And then you come a couple of years later, look back at it and go like, oh, how could I ever play this? It looks horrible, you know. So it's a different thing, you know. For me, I don't mind it, you know. I haven't mind Valheim either, with this kind of reduced kind of pixely graphic kind of. So you know, for me, it does a lot for me. Okay, I can say that. So if you're a little bit of an older age group, you will probably prefer this here to Palworld, you know. So for me, Palworld is absolutely nothing really. I never followed that Pokemon hype, so really sorry to say that, but that's just how I am. I could never get used to it. To run around and chase somehow some things that you can only see on your phone. It just doesn't compute for me why people would do that, you know. So, but this makes sense, you know. This is kind of, it follows this old original Lord of the Rings kind of style. I mean, I run around looking like a hobbit, you know. It's just like, you know, roll around and then this hamster flight, you know, it's just this amazing thing. It's just so unreal, you know. You can go up here. Oh, no, maybe I cannot. Let's see. There we go. And then I can just fly. I mean, hello, dragon flight. I don't need a dragon to fly. I can just land on the roof. Oop. Hopefully don't fall too far, you know. There's actually the stuff you were looking for. Obviously, again, choice of weapons. You can use the wrong weapon and use it fully for absolutely no reason. Or you just use the right stuff and give it one whack and then it does way more damage, you know. So you have to choose your opponents and your weapons wisely. Okay, that's what I have to say to that. Alright, so this is just something I wanted to bring across quickly. Just in case if you have been frustrated with some choices, weapons and all those things. Bows, yes, bows are great, you know. But you need the right arrows to go with that. Here, the wolf is very fast, okay? He will be attacking before you if you have a very heavy weapon, okay? So this is obviously too slow for the wolf, right? But with this thing here, you know, it's a completely different fight, you know? So it's just a different way of how you fight, okay? Very difficult to explain this, but it's not like the normal World of Warcraft 1-1-1-1, you know, kind of repeat and rinse and repeat cycle. You have to think what you're doing, and that is great, you know. It kind of, that is something refreshing to see, you know. Where is that the last 10 years that you're a game like that, where you have to actually think before you actually get into the car, you know? So fasten your seatbelt and all that. So yes, you know, different opponents, different fights. There was a time, you know, where you would think like a club, so not a dancing club, but the club that you would use here, yeah, was good against undead, right? And it does, okay. So it's a bigger opponent, and then you use a bigger weapon, okay. If it's a small, quick opponent, then you use a light weapon. You know, this needs a moment to kind of sink in, and that is something where I'm just blown away. I'm amazed. Okay, sorry to say that. So yeah, that was just a quick one. There will be more, obviously, in the next coming days. I'm tired as you can think. I'm up since 6 this morning. I've done 2 streams, one for 5 hours and one for another 3 hours. And then I wanted to go sleep now, and then I saw Zach's video, and I thought like, no, hang on a second. I haven't watched it fully, so I have to say that. I'm really sorry. I haven't gotten to that. That would have been another 3 hours to watch. And then we are back to the old World of Warcraft days where sleep is overrated, you know. So I just can't stop playing this game. This is just unreal, you know. So yeah, so I just wanted to say that, you know, that you have to think about the choice of your opponents and the choice of your weapon, okay? It's not as easy as in other games where you just run around and no matter what happens, you will always kind of look good in there. You can lose your shit as well. You have to be careful. Like I said, you wanna be careful with your choices, okay? I have skilled something that I don't even think I really fully use yet, okay? Where was it? There, skills. So I might just reset this whole thing. I thought a tank thing would be good. Can be good, possibly, you know. Done the evasion attack, which doesn't seem to do a lot for me just yet. I've managed to stun an opponent once until now, so there is a way where you see an extra little bar similar to the stamina bar, okay, where you can kind of charge, if you like, and then you can release it upon your opponent. But it's practice, and it's so different than what we are used to, okay? Not just 1, 2, 3, 4, pressing a couple of buttons, you know. So the other thing was this with the grappling hook, yeah. Don't know if I have a good example here right now. The old monastery. Monte Cassino, huh? Nearly. We'll see when it's finished, so there will be a big tower as well, I'd say. Yeah, I don't know if you have an option here for grappling hook right now. Don't know. Can't really do it. I mean, fact is that you need both, okay? You need the flying part, yeah? So, together with the hook, otherwise it makes no sense. If you just have the hook, no good, okay? It's not a lot of joy then. I don't know if I can get somewhere up there. There are a lot of puzzles, you know. You have to think about what you're doing. There are a lot of rooms. Oh. Now this is already the wrong weapon, kind of, but also through the wall, not great. Trying to come in. I found the torch quite handy against those swarms of beasts there, little mosquitoes. The grappling hook, yes. Yeah, I mean, if you don't interact, it will not work for you, okay? So it's just how I see that. I don't see it bad. Simon was really scared. Simon was really scared. There was like, you had 2 hooks kind of after each other kind of this Prince of Persia thing, you know, where you had to kind of snap from one to the next, Indiana Jones style, you know. But in the end, it was really easy. So I think it's easy enough, you know. It's not perhaps the most intuitive thing, but you know, I think it's easy, really easy. Okay, so your mind makes it more complicated than it's necessary. That's what I think about that, you know. So I don't know if we have somewhere an example. Not here, most likely. We'll have to see that again. I'll do another stream most likely later on tomorrow. I need to sleep at some point because otherwise my rhythm is completely screwed for Monday, Tuesday. I'm in my shop downstairs, so at least most of the days. So we'll be streaming a bit less next week, and yeah, other than that, just, you know, follow the channel and see what happens next. You know, we do a bit of German and English. I think Simon is off the next week as well. He was supposed to give a training, but then he got sick, and then now his pupils got sick. So Corona, you know, is still alive and well. Greetings, I should say, from Corona. So yeah, pity that I don't have a good example here for the grappling hook right now, but doesn't look like there is an E somewhere. Yeah, but no matter, we'll find another spot where we can see that, you know. Give it a try. Don't be too hard on yourself. Just don't go out without too much, like back in World of Warcraft days, some people would not fight monsters that are 2 level above you, okay? We used to do that differently at the time back in the day already, just because we could, you know, but here it's deadly, okay? 1, not a problem, but 3 is a big problem, okay? So, yeah, that's just all I wanted to say. So, yeah, follow the channel, subscribe, click the bell notification, you know, if you can, and stay tuned. I will do a bit of a mix of English and German, but I think even from the pictures, if you don't understand anything, you can still follow what's going on. Oh, in the mud. Okay. Look at the legs. It slows you down, you know. So it's just, I think we have something really, really special at our hands here. That's all I want to say to that. Okay, so stay tuned, and I see you next time.